What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Astaire, and I'll be joined by Tyler Hicks shortly. But hey, we'll get started right now. We'll bring him in very, very soon. We are back in Northern California tonight. That's right, at the Chase Center in San Francisco. I'll look for the current line. The Warriors have been anywhere between +4, +3.5. And let me see where this total's at. So it's +4 right now on Bookmaker for the Boston Celtics. Over 210.5, +154 on the money line if you like the Celtics. And hey, why not? Because we've talked about these spreads haven't mattered. So if you like Boston, I say you just go for that money line. And there's many reasons to like Boston. They have not won. They have not lost back-to-back games so far during this playoffs. And of course, they're coming off the 107-97 loss in Boston on Game 4. You know, some people didn't like the delay. I liked it. And especially as someone who's on the Warriors for the series, an extra day for Steph to get better can't hurt. Of course, Steph coming off a 43.10 rebound performance. He's averaging 34.3 points per game in this series. So it's been a great performance for Steph Curry. And we've broken down these matchups a lot so far on the show, but we're going to get straight in to what we're doing. So tonight, to me, it's the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, right? The Warriors 10-1 at home during this postseason. Their only loss, though, to the Celtics, and that, of course, was in game one. They've zigzagged ever since, with each team really bouncing back strong after each consecutive performance here. But tonight, it's the Warriors' home dominance. I mean, this team was absolutely excellent, 31-10 at home on the season, and that's even with all the injuries. Now this team is as close as they're going to get to full strength, because I'll tell you what, I was worried about Steph when we did our review show on Thursday. I didn't think he was going to come back because it looked very similar to the injury he had when Marcus Smart rolled over on his ankle, and that was in February, I believe. But he came back fine. He was so good. And the only question is, how long can he keep it up? What do you think, Tyler? What do you expect from Steph tonight?
He should have a good game. He's played good the other 4 games, so I'm not going to say he's going to have a down game. He's been the only guy that's been consistent for him outside of Wiggins. So should play good, probably like 30 points.
All right. Yeah, I'm just checking that. I'm telling you. Yeah, we people says told you chat. I have my desk set up poorly. I'm not gonna be able to put these on the screen as well. We people says Dubs in 7. Boston they take today, Boston takes next, and the Dubs close it out home. I'm feeling the exact same way about this. What do you think about this play, Tyler? Celtics first half, Warriors third quarter. That's been that seems to be pretty safe, huh?
Yeah, that's definitely the way. Definitely the Warriors third quarter. Really, they're 4-0 ATS and straight up in the fourth quarter or third quarter in this series. And I think in the playoffs they're 13-7 in the third quarter in both of those. So
Yeah.
definitely back them in the third quarter. But I don't mind doing the Boston first half, Golden State full game look here. Just the halftime, full time. Probably get nice odds on that. I'll get that pulled up for us.
All right. Eric says Boston +4. I say if you like,
I still feel
Celtics,
like I
just
got a
take the
fat lip
points.
because I had to get shot with Novocaine this morning for the dentist. So
Oh,
like this side of my mouth still feels like it's all big.
Don't tell us, we wouldn't even notice. Now we're all going to be looking for it. You can't tell people that. Anyways, I kind of broke down the game, but I've said we've talked about it so many times. I'm looking forward to this series be over. It was like when I had a girlfriend. We're just arguing every single day. But people kind of know why. But we'll do a quick review. What are you looking for tonight? Warriors have been great at home. Celtics have been great off a loss. What gives?
My guess is the Celtics give because it's on the road. Tony Brothers has been a thorn in their side, and he's one of the refs tonight. Mm-hmm. So I think, just like we the people said, I think Golden State takes it here. Boston wins that game at home. But I'm not as sure in Game 7 as he is. I think Game 7 could be a little wacky.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. That's where I think that home court advantage is going to matter so much. I feel like Milwaukee could have beat the Celtics if their Game 7 was in Milwaukee. I think the Warriors will have a
Don't we
huge
think
edge there.
it's like time for Clay to like detonate big game time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've said it for a while. He finally shot
Clay
himself like kind of
or
into a
Poole?
rhythm. Like,
I think Poole has a big night tonight.
I mean, yeah, I don't hate backing either of them. I think like the way to play this game too is like instead of betting the -4 or just like paying the juice and betting the money line at -174, like Curry to score 35 and then win the game is +370. He scored a ton of points in this series. And if you think it's one of these guys, like say Clay, 5+ threes in Golden State wins +390. Jordan Poole, where's his points at? Let's see. They have a Jordan Poole, 12+ points in Golden State wins +160. So like there's some 15+ points in Golden State wins +290. So I think there's some ways to get on this game where you get better odds on Golden State than just playing their money line or the spread.
I think if you like the Celtics, you go for the Jason Tatum player performance double. I think one of the safe bets tonight is for Tatum to bounce back.
Is today, right, spread?
What?
You know what today's the anniversary of, right? The LeBron, Kyrie 41 and 41 game.
Oh yeah, I saw you post that. Okay, and why does that matter
tonight? Who's putting up double 40-point games tonight? We getting one from each side?
I don't think we're getting 40 from anyone.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Because don't you think this game goes under again?
Yeah.
I see a 210 right now. We got it at 214 last game. It's going to continue to go down. These unders, I think, are really good bets here.
Well, and the other thing too is I've seen a nice like experiment with this total. If you exclude Curry's points at the end of the game, here's what the games would have finished at: 194, 166, 185, 161. Would you say we're lined at tonight 210.5? If you average that out, it puts you like right about that point where Curry would have to put up 40 to put this game over tonight. So I think when you bet the under in the full game, you're basically betting Curry not to score 40 here. You get what I'm saying?
Fine with that. Do you think he gets 40 again? I'm the biggest Steph guy on every show
I'm on the same side
that I go on. And
this is a lot more of an agreement show than the last couple ones.
I mean, how much can we argue though, right?
That's what I mean.
You know what? Doing this, I have a newfound respect for like Stephen A. and those guys. I mean, how do they argue Jordan?
They get new topics every day.
Every day. No, I swear it always comes back to Jordan versus LeBron though. I mean, I swear they have to do it at least once a week.
That's the
unbelievable
argument.
I can't believe
we've all been arguing that since like what? I've been arguing that since like middle school. Like you've probably been arguing that since the early 2000s. So it's one of them arguments that'll live on forever.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. So here's the props I really like. I know you have some props too, but I'm going to give you my 3 first. Jason Tatum over. Every single time he has a bad performance, he's bounced back. So every time he scored less than 21. Would you rather just take his
threes at 3.5?
I just take his over.
But he's done it all. He's 45% from 3, 22% from 2. If he goes over, he's probably hitting like 4.
But do you think they're just going to let him to continue to work one-on-one with Wiggins, or do you think they're going to go ahead and try and design some action so he can work against some other players?
I mean, they could, but I still think that shoulder's a little banged up. And I think that's what's hindering him.
I don't get it, though. Why would you shoot better from 3 than 2 if you have a bad shoulder?
Contact. When you're in the post, bouncing off guys, trying to shoot a fadeaway, and that every time you bounce off the guy, it's making your shoulder hurt, and you try and shoot, you're probably going to pull up short on that shot a lot. So
that's fair.
You're standing on the 3 line by yourself. No one's going to bump you. You just get to go right through the motion. Even if it hurts, it's a lot easier to shoot that than bump into somebody and go to the hoop. So, and his over 3.5 is +112, to where his over on his points at 26.5 is -122.
I still like that though. So the 3 times he's gone under 21 points this series, he's come back with 30, 31, and 39. So I don't see any reason why he's not going to have a big game tonight. He seems to always do this. And whenever it's so funny. I mean, it's almost like a broken record at this point, right? After a big game, I'm down on him. After he has that bad game, he always bounces back, right? So, I'll take that one. The other one, I played it every single game in the series. Why would I stop?
Looney's rebounds.
Why not? Because
and the number went down too. Did you see that?
I got 7.5 on Bovada. You have better numbers than me.
Yeah, I'm seeing 7.5 also, but that
It
wasn't an
was
8.5
6.5
last
on those
game.
other ones.
Oh,
We had
okay. I thought we had
6.5.
8.5 last game.
No. Well, we might have last game.
Yeah, seven
It
and a
was
half
6.5 at
definitely.
the beginning.
And they did the thing where they split Looney and Draymond up last game, and it worked. So I think you might see more of that tonight.
If Looney was in that run that they made, Looney was the main guy when Draymond got benched 7 minutes ago. It
Yeah,
was
so he
in
may
favor
see
of
even
Looney.
more run tonight. So
I think
I
he
don't even
should.
I don't even hate betting him at plus 370 to lead this game in rebounds.
That's interesting
This is how
because
I would play this.
he's only going to
Because
get like 28 minutes, even if he gets
listen,
more minutes.
this is how these odds break down.
Okay.
Al Horford's plus 370, Looney's plus 370, Williams is plus 440, Draymond's plus 480, and then you get into the Tatums, Wiggins, Brown, all 750 and 11-1. Al Horford's the guy that's getting put in the pick and roll more because Williams can defend better on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to use Al Horford more. So I kind of cross his name right out.
Okay.
Looney is probably going to play more minutes than Draymond, I think, with the way that worked last game. So definitely a shot on him at 3-1. If Robert Williams gets 32 minutes, though, like last game spread, plus 440 on him, I think we definitely have to take a shot on. Like,
And that's where
I
the
think I'm
extra
betting
time off
both of
helps
those
too.
guys.
I think the extra time off helps for Robert Williams as well, right?
Yep.
Not having to play back to back. Okay, I like those. So I've given out Tatum. I've given out Looney. Let me give you my third one. Jordan Poole over 1.5 threes.
I don't hate it.
So he's gone over that 7 of the 12 home games. He averages 3.6 made threes per season, this season per game. And
what was his average at home? You said 3.
He went over 7 of the. He went over. It was only 1.5, so he's gone over that 7 out of the 12 home games.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say because the 1.5 I'm seeing is juiced to minus 140. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he's good for 2, he's probably going to shoot.
What
like
do you have
5 to
2.5
6
at though? Like plus 120.
Yeah, 3 plus made threes is plus 250. Like
I would do that.
I would just rather take him one
I would
more,
do that
yeah.
rather than lay the juice. I would do that rather than lay the juice. So those are the 3 that I'm looking at. You already know, right? Broken record. I'm on the Warriors at home. So that is where I am at. Tyler, what do you think? And what else do you have for us?
Yeah, I mean, I love the props you called out. And looking at some of these other ones, I mean, points plus assists on Curry's 35.5. I don't hate taking that because I think Clay is going to detonate tonight and actually have a good game.
Okay.
If you want to go points plus rebounds, I really wouldn't look at anybody in that stat category other than Wiggins. It's 24.5, but he had a really good game last game, so that number's a bit inflated. Mm-hmm. So it's my only worry there. And then this rebounds plus assists, 9.5 on Marcus Smart. It hit for us in game, I believe 3 it hit, and then game 4 it didn't hit, but he finished on 9. It's minus 106 still. I'll gladly take a shot there. And then just to some other ones of these stat leaders, player with most assists, Curry's plus 440, Smart's plus 390, Tatum 3-1, Draymond plus 190. Mm-hmm. If they start to press up more on Curry in these pick and rolls, you got to think Draymond catches the ball and gets to be like more of the facilitator at that point. So he could have a very good game distributing. So wouldn't hate taking him at the plus 190, but would want a little better number than that. And then one fun one. It's going to be tough, but if we think Poole explodes tonight, and I would probably just bet Poole and Clay at this just for some fun money. Mm-hmm. Player with most threes made. Clay's 5-1. Jordan Poole's 36-1. And it's Jordan Poole is definitely capable of hitting 5 to 6 threes in a game.
At 36-1, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's definitely worth a shot, I would say.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun. So, Steph, I think is interesting, man. I mean, can he continue to do this game after game? I mean, when was the last time he had a bad game?
Until he proves me wrong, spread, I'm not going to tell you no. I tried to bet his under in game 1, and he had it over by halftime. So, not going against him anymore.
So I read a quick article. I think it was by Jared Weiss in The Athletic before we jumped on.
How about the argument that he's the best point guard ever now? Would you say yes, or would you still go Magic?
No. Did you? I should have retweeted it. I think I did. Did you see that Magic Johnson like highlight tape they dropped the other day?
I retweeted it. Yeah,
dude. Nobody's beating that guy.
Yeah, those passes are ridiculous.
It's just like smooth. It's just like also a thing for me. And since we're having let's go back to that same debate. Like Jordan looked like 10 times smoother than LeBron. Like say numbers, efficiency, all you want. Jordan's highlights are just way better. Like he's so smooth when he's in the air. That's how I felt about Magic. Like those angles are just unbelievable. Like the way he's making those passes.
When you kind of like compare like LeBron's build more to like a Magic Johnson, you know what I mean? Like I know, and Jordan's more like the Kobe build. But
I'm just saying
we're always
those
gonna
two, they
compare
have that
LeBron,
aesthetic
Jordan,
for me that like I just throw numbers out because they
Yeah.
just look the best. Like Magic's passes look the best. Like, I mean, Jason Williams is the only one I can think of, right? And he's like 10% of the player that Magic was, right? But that's passes or Pistol Pete if you see highlights of that. But
You ask the
even
new
I'm
age,
not
I'll
that
tell
old.
you LaMelo Ball. I'm not buying it though.
I mean, since we're just jumping all around today, so I'm following a Kings guy, right? And of course, I only have negative things to say about this team of Vivek Ranadiva's leadership, right? And I say, when the Kings take the floor, who do they have? You know, when do they have the best player on the floor against what teams? And I said, like, you know, Orlando, maybe Houston, and they said Charlotte. Who do you think's better, LaMelo Ball or Domantas Sabonis? I thought that was an interesting one.
Probably Sabonis right now. I still don't believe in LaMelo's defense. Like, even though Sabonis isn't the best defender either, but like,
can't really
at least he tries. I don't know if he's have the best player against Houston though. No, I'm going to argue that.
I mean, right now, technically they would, but I think by the end of the year, Jalen Green will be better than anyone.
Yeah, when he's averaging 25 next year.
Same with Cade on Detroit, right?
Yep. So Cade and Jaden Ivey next year when these guys pass on them.
Dude, if we pass on, this is like the most stressful week for me as a Kings fan, just thinking of all the way things can go wrong.
And trades are heating up too. Incoming Kings trade.
They better not. They better not. So, all right, let's get back to tonight's game. What did you see in game 4, man? I mean, you guys were laughing at me. I was being a little over emotional, right? Giving up on the team when they missed like an open 3 with like 5 minutes in the game, right? And the whole chat was laughing. We're hanging out on the live show. You know, sometimes with these games, I can be not as analytical, especially in game. So I was on there running the gamut of emotions. You were at work, but fortunately, you know, you had time to watch the game. What were your major takeaways for the last game?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game. They played back and forth. It looked like Boston was going to take it at the end, but then Golden State, well, Boston kind of went cold, and Curry just did what superstars do. They took over the game at the end, and he just won them the game, basically. It was a great game, and that's why I kind of like the halftime, full-time here spread, because you know Boston's going to come out fighting in this game.
What about just Boston first quarter? I guess you're right, though, because Curry sits the majority of the second quarter.
I mean, you could do the Boston first quarter money line plus 112, but I would just rather play them be up at half and then Golden State wins the game. I just feel like that's an easier way to go at it. Because what happens if you bet the first quarter and Golden State's up at 1 at the end of the first quarter and then they lose the second quarter by 6?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course I'd be upset there. Hey, you know, another thing that went on this show, and I'll throw it up on the screen. Boy, good chat today. Active chat. Sorry, my desk isn't set up right today. So, okay, first half player prop season on DK.
Oh, definitely. I see you guys killed those last show. So
why don't you pull that up right now and let
I found the odds for that halftime full time. Just a little spoiler alert for the best bets. It's plus 480. That's where I'm gonna be.
Okay. Pull up those first half player props because the Sports Keg actually absolutely killed those.
Props. Yeah, first half only. Steph Curry 3+ threes made in the first half plus 105. Jaylen Brown 2+ threes made in the first half plus 190. Clay 3+ plus 3 or plus 230. Jaylen Brown 15+ points plus 260. Curry 4+ threes plus 285. Curry 20 points 3-1. Tatum 3+ threes first half plus 370. That's my favorite one yet.
All right, here, you pull those out. I'm going to fix my desk real quick. You pull out your first 2 favorites. I'm still here, though.
Definitely the Tatum 3+ threes plus 370. His 20+ points in the first half, 4-1. Clay's 15+ in the first half, plus 425. That intrigues me. But if he gets to 15, he probably hits this one also. The 4+ threes made first half plus 550. So I'd rather just play that. Clay and Steph 3+ threes made first half 6-1. Brown 3+ threes made 6-1. Jaylen and Tatum 15+ points each 7-1. Curry and Thompson 15 points plus each first half. I kind of like this one too, 850. What do you think about that? Because I think Curry Curry should be good for 15 in the first
I
half.
know
And if
Clay
Clay's
got
having a
there
great
for us,
game,
man. I'm still
but
worried
if
about
he's
Clay.
but if he's hitting threes spread, like he can get to 15.
The team still believes in him.
Oh, of course the team still believes in him.
Yeah. So
And then if you want to get crazy, they have first quarter ones also.
I love
Clay
Curry first quarter props and Tatum first quarter props.
Tatum first quarter, 10 plus points, plus 450.
I like it.
2+ threes made in the first quarter, plus 425.
I like that.
Jaylen Brown, 10 plus points in the first quarter, 4-1.
I'd rather go Tatum.
Yeah. Clay, 2+ threes made, plus 320. If he's going to have a good game, he's probably going to start off the game hot. So that plus 320 could be a look.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Curry's at 3+ threes made in the first quarter. I don't see him firing them up in the first quarter like that. You know what I mean?
Who? Steph?
Like if he's hitting in the first quarter, this might get ugly quick.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he's only done it in game one, really, in the first quarter.
And they blew it.
Yeah. So other games, like it just hasn't went that way. He's cooked up late. So I'm not going to touch that one. And
the people's opposite. He's on Jaylen Brown 8+ for the first quarter.
This one, like some of these ones, I think are definitely worth a look.
Okay.
Steph and Tatum, 2+ threes each made in the first quarter is 9-1. Them guys might shoot 4 apiece. Tatum or Brown and Thompson, 2+ threes made each, 20-1.
I love it. I mean, at those odds, I mean, how can you say no?
Yeah,
it's like Keg says on the live show. Whenever someone asks us about an 18-1, we're pretty much going to say yes almost every single time. Because
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, 2+ threes made each in the first quarter, 25-1. If you think Boston comes out firing,
and on that one, if it happens 5% out of the time, you've technically made a profitable bet.
Yep.
Let me jump in the chat real quick. Counselor Code says, fun fact on the Marcus Smart rebound assist prop that Tyler mentioned. He had 9 going into the fourth in game 4. He wasn't able to cover the hook, but he had 23 potential rebound assists opportunities. A usage rate and opportunity go a long way. That is the name of the game for player props. Fila says Clay only plays half of the first quarter, Tyler. So be careful of that.
Okay, yeah, that might be.
Curry plays all of these first quarters. Clay plays all the second. Now, see, that's good knowledge, Fila. Thank you for that. And I agree here. He says Curry first quarter points, assists, and rebounds have been money. Full game overs and Celtics over 104. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I want to play any type of team total overs.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Looking, we got some baseball guys in the chat. I think Joey's still in there. We the people bets on baseball. So
okay,
I'm going to go back to these cross sports.
Yeah, because I got nothing for you.
Yeah. Tatum 35+, and it's Harper to hit a home run is 17-1. Tatum 5+ threes made, Schwarber 2+ RBIs 18-1. Celtics 15+ threes made, Phillies 10+ hits plus 550. Marcus Smart 8+ assists, Aaron Nola 8+ strikeouts 9.5-1. And then Klay Thompson 5+ threes, Jock Peterson 2+ RBIs 14-1. Warriors 15+ threes, and Giants 10+ hits plus 370. Those are some of the ones I've seen.
Ask Joey on that, or maybe you guys can get together.
Okay, Joey says Harper, Schwarber going against best starting pitcher in baseball as far as staying away from those.
Stay away from that one, yeah. See, I wonder, Joey, if they put that up there just because they know guys like you and I will, like me, would just bet them. You know, they don't know anything about baseball. Felix says, I think Tatum goes for 40 tonight. I think he'll lead the Celtics in scoring. So
if he goes for 40, he's probably a lead scorer, right?
Yeah. What's his number to have the most points in the game?
Top point scorer. Where is it at? Plus 220. Curry minus 120.
The value's all on Tatum there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Value's all on Tatum there. I'm trying to think of what else that I saw in that last game that can come into place. You know, Wiggins had 16 boards. Do you think he comes back like that again? Do you think that's a one-night deal?
I don't think he has that many, but I think he does rack up some boards.
Do you think he'll go over what they put his number at? He only averages 4 on the year per game.
Yeah, but in the playoffs, he's been one of their better rebounders until Looney's number ticked up in his minutes. Wiggins was their best rebounder. It's 6.5 minus 140.
Minus 140. Okay.
I wouldn't run to bet that, but I do think he gets close to that number. Maybe ticks himself up over.
Yeah.
The other thing too, Spread, is if we see Boston cross that number of 15 turnovers in this game, max bet Golden State, whatever the number is at that point. Because Boston's lost every game this year when they've turned the ball over 15 plus times. And when they haven't turned the ball over that many times, they're like 14-1.
Hey, pull up the one you sent me with the offensive ratings. Remember, Golden State's half-court rating was something like 126, and their transition was like 121.
Oh, yeah, let me find that real quick.
I mean, that's why, like, I think if they have once they get to 15 plus turnovers, they're going to be at minus 800.
Oh yeah, half-court offensive rating 93.5 for the Warriors, 98.2 for the Celtics. Transition offense rating 123.3 for the Warriors, 93.9 for the Celtics.
Just unbelievable.
So that's where they're killing them at.
Yeah, and that's why those turnovers matter so much. And we'll see how that works out for the team. What are you thinking for some of these role players, right? We talked about how Derek White, Al Horford, and Marcus Smart all are widely variant in their results, right? I mean, high variance, but when they play well, the Celtics play well. What do you expect from those three men tonight?
I think a couple of them have a big game. Maybe Derek White has the bigger game because he's been kind of quiet the last two. Mm-hmm. I mean, Grant Williams should hit a couple threes, but I think Draymond's in his head a bit, so I don't see him doing that well. And then Al Horford's just been non-existent outside of that first game, so he might bounce back here finally and have a decent game.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. Maybe it's just the fact that they're making him do more on defense.
I think it's because in the first game they were really trying to protect the rim, and now I think in transition they're just picking him up, and they're like, I don't care if I give up a layup, we're not going to give up an Al Horford three. So hey, on that same one, did it have the corner three percentages?
Oh yeah, it did. Let me go back to
read those off. That was wild to me. If the Warriors start hitting their corner threes, this thing's over.
Yeah, corner threes, 8 for 26 for the Warriors, 17 for 37 for Boston.
I mean, what's that percentage for the Warriors?
30.8
on corner threes. Yeah, I mean, talk about something that they could switch. You know, I don't even know how we're even talking about Russell Westbrook. How did he come up? You must love that guy. Unbelievable. Anyways, We the People says Tatum turns it over 8 times himself, yet Westbrook gets the slander. Just because Tatum turned it over 8 times doesn't mean Russell Westbrook doesn't deserve all the slander that he got. I do agree, though, that this I'm about to do a show with another guy who thinks Tatum's better than Steph Curry. So I think that people are trying to anoint him a little too bit early. But he wins 2 of the next 3 games, and he's going to deserve it. So he has his opportunity to shut me up, and that opportunity begins tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
Yeah, here's those exact numbers on what I was talking about.
Okay.
It says Boston needs to take care of the ball. The Celtics are just 1-6 this postseason in games where they turn the ball over 15 or more times. Conversely, they are 13-2 when they limit their turnovers to 14 or fewer. So that number crosses there like halfway through the third quarter. Like, I'm probably jumping heavy on the Warriors.
Like I said, if it does, I think that at that point, all the value is going to be gone. But, I mean, that's one of those things, right? The old joke, right, about every NFL pregame show. It's like, well, what's the key? You know, limit the turnovers, right? I mean, it does feel kind of self-explanatory. But it's good to know that the numbers are backing up the narrative there.
NBA.
What's up?
Some guy just entered health and safety protocols in the NBA.
Who's some guy?
Adam Silver.
Okay.
I don't know.
What do you do?
Underdog just reported that.
I mean, why does that even matter? Unbelievable. All right.
I seen health and safety protocols. I was like, oh God, someone's out tonight.
Well, at least you're checking. I have my phone face down, trying to concentrate on Tyler and the chat. Counselor Code says Jaylen Brown has 61 first half points in this finals, an average of 15.3 points per game. You can find his first half number at 11.5, which he's covered all 4 games and 5 straight if you include Miami. I love Jaylen Brown first halves. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
He says it might go back.
One I would go back to just for fun. The consecutive 3-pointers, just a guy to walk down, hit a 3. They go play defense, come back down, hit a 3. Mm-hmm. Some of these guys is hot for Golden State. You're telling me they're not going to try and funnel the ball to him, like Clay 8-1, Poole 11-1, like Tatum on the other side 11-1, Brown 14-1. Like those might be worth a sprinkle, I'd say.
Yeah. Southpaw says Dubs by 10, and I know Robert mentioned messaged me about this as well. What about the minus 9.5 alt spread on either side? That seems to have been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely go that route.
Yeah,
You're going to get nice value on it.
I think it's a great way to arm the game. Joey Work reminding me. Thank you, Mr. Joey. Guys, you got to hit this like button. Keep the content coming every day. Brought to you by Run Pure Bets. Head on over to runpuresports.com. Promo code GETBETS to become a member. We the People says on the Celtics side, I like Smart, 7+ assists. Can't argue there, right, Tyler?
No, I mean, he should, with all the potential assists he gets, he should rack up 7+.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried. Like Derek White, would you be surprised if he had a quiet game tonight?
No, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but I think he's going to score like 12 to 15 points tonight.
How about Peyton Pritchard? What do you expect from him?
6 minutes and maybe a 3-pointer.
You don't think he plays that much?
No,
He's been okay against this team because they don't punish him the way that Miami did.
I mean, maybe he plays a little bit more minutes, but I don't expect him to do much.
Okay. He likes Tatum 8+ rebounds. That's interesting. We people throw that in the chat. Why you like it? Brown 20+ points. That seems self-explanatory, especially if you think the Celtics are going to win. Are we doing this? Is the better team? Would you agree with that, Tyler?
Yes and no, but I think they have the better team on paper, but Golden State just has the better player right now, and it's showing. Like when these games come down,
I hear everybody say this, like on almost every breakdown, and I'm sure I say it myself too. If we were to go back to the season, especially when we're trying to knock out 10 or 11 games in one day, what is being the better team? But like, what are our values? What are the criteria of being the better team?
I mean, just like the defensive overall unit, the offensive overall unit, like how they play as a team, I guess. Like when you like,
can we just look at net rating and whoever has a higher net rating is better?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to go analytically and just snag the net rating, you can go that way. But like when you watch them, like as a team too, like I just say Boston has the better team. Like it's just Curry comes into these moments where he just takes over the game, and Golden State.
Isn't that part of the team? Is who's your leader? Just like in football, it's like I could say, oh well, the Saints have a better team than the Buccaneers, but one team's got Tom Brady. Well, so then it's he's part of the team too. The best player is part of the team.
But then what do you say about like the Cavs team that beat this team? Like, were they the better team? Probably not. LeBron drugged them there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
you can't always make that argument. Like the superstar does kind of overweigh the team at certain points.
Okay. Well, so Gregory Russo says he's choosing who's more athletic and who has better players. Okay, and that's fair. That's fair, right? I mean, I think. Excuse me, I don't mean Greg Russo. I love when you jump in, the professor. We just love giving you crap. It's just we've been talking about these two teams. I mean, for almost a month and a half now, right? Because both teams even dominated the discourse when we were doing the conference finals, right? It felt like we were talking more about Boston than Miami during that series, right? Because it felt like, to take a tennis one, like whoever's the player that hits harder, we say the match is on their racket. Because if they hit the ball in, they're going to win. If they make the errors, they're going to lose, right? It felt like the ball, the match was on their racket. Or, if Boston plays their best, they win. It felt like that with Golden State in all three series too. So, excuse me, I hate to be rude, Gregory. And he says, thank you, Tyler. Not thank you to me, but hey, glad that you are here. He says they beat our Bucks. They are the best. All right, I'm going to forward that to Tyler right now. His reasoning is he's been hammering over 7 rebounds every game for Tatum. He hits 3 4s, I think, in the series. The long rebounds from the missed threes usually bounce as well. That's a great point. And this is the Tatum. And I think he's right. And I guess a lot of times he's the tallest player on the court, right? If Looney's not in there.
Yeah.
It's not bad to have the tallest player on the court to have over there. Let's see. Counselor Codes writing back to Greg Russo. I love this. At least we're getting a good conversation here today. It's fun to see, Tyler, where these conversations go, right? Rather than just breaking down the Jason Tatum, Andrew Wiggins matchup every day. Counselor Code says being the better athlete doesn't make you the better team. Championship experience, leadership, and basketball IQ go a long way in the argument. Yeah, I think he makes some good point there.
We got some good points.
I think the experience can be a little bit overrated, but I think leadership and basketball IQ are great points, especially basketball IQ. And I think that's one thing that I really like about the Warriors. Number one, they play more of a team ball. It seems like Boston Celtics are more reliant on great isolation play, as evidenced by how they come and go with Jason Tatum's results. I like the way that the Warriors run that motion offense. They're constantly running picks, and I would say, and I said this before, like for everyone copying Steph just dribbling up and shooting threes, no one wants to copy his activity off ball. The other coaches aren't, running defenders through multiple screens for their best guys, and I'm surprised. Maybe the NBA is not a copycat league like the NFL, but I'm surprised that more teams aren't doing that. He's following up his point there on better team. He says, does Draymond beat anyone on measurables on paper? No. He doesn't on the court with intangibles that don't show up in the stat box. We haven't really talked about Draymond yet, Tyler, and that's because I'll be honest, I'm kind of tired of that discourse around it as well.
I'll sum it up for you. He fucking sucks.
But
all he's doing is barking. That's it. What else has he done?
He still had 9 rebounds and 8 assists in that last game.
He's barking. That's all he's doing.
9 rebounds and 8 assists is pretty good.
I'm still saying all he's doing is barking.
He plays excellent defense. I mean, we had a good one for him. I mean, he's Ben Simmons with the podcast now, right? Great defensive player. He's got more leadership. He just can't score.
I think Charles Barkley summed it up best. Did you see what they
said? The boy band quote?
Yeah.
I'll read that out for the people who missed it.
I got to go back on my Twitter.
All right, you look. I'll go to the chat. NBA wants 7. We will see 7. You know what's so crazy about that argument? How many game 7s did Michael Jordan play in the finals? You don't think they would have wanted a game 7 with Michael Jordan when he was in the finals? 0. He won all the series in 6 or less. Over under 4.5 shoulder shrugs by Tatum. You got me there. Southpaw says Draymond leads the team with hand claps. So Boston needs to limit timeouts and force someone other than Curry to beat him. Okay, so we'll go back to this, Tyler, because I think I was going on it, and then we jumped in with something else real quick. I read an article in The Athletic by Jared Weiss, and they were talking about why the Celtics drop against Curry when it doesn't make any sense when he's landing apart from 3. But I guess it's just the way that their defensive system is designed. That way people don't get lost on rotations. Because
if you force everyone up, and now think about it. If Draymond sets the pick, you force the guy up, and now you drop it. Steph drops it over his head into Draymond's hands. Now he's in the best spot he wants to be in because now he's driving straight at the hoop. Mm-hmm. All the guys are rotating, and he can go wherever he wants with the ball. Do you want their offense moving and everyone hot from 3, or would you rather one guy light you up and cross your fingers and hopefully he has a bad game and you beat him?
And let's be honest, that strategy's worked against Denver because Jokic had huge games and they lost. Strategy worked against Philadelphia, right? And on certain nights it worked against Miami. It definitely worked against Giannis, right? Let the main guy go off and we're going to get the victory.
Yeah.
So I can
worked
understand
in 2 games against Golden State, so it's like the strategy works, but it's also the game you're playing of he's going to stay hot because he's just getting any shot he wants. And God forbid one of the other guys gets hot on the defense that's staying on him, then you're screwed.
I think this game comes down to what happens when the Celtics have the ball. I mean, I hate to just be simplistic about it, but you said it best. When they turn the ball over, they're not going to win because that transition offense is too good.
If they're rolling into the third quarter with like 4 turnovers, they're probably crushing this game at halftime.
If they're putting the ball in the net, that's going to force Golden State to take the ball out, which means they're going to be in a half-court set, and the teams have been close to even in the half-court sets.
Yep.
So, I mean, I hate to be simplistic about it. It feels like the Warriors are going to get theirs no matter what. Will Boston get more? I like this. Thanks for dropping this in there with the people. Tatum said in his press conference that he has to make quicker decisions, so I'm sure he'll put up a ton of shots, and Brown will look at him. like WTF. That'll be fun. Do you think we'll see any of that, Tyler?
If that's going to happen, you're probably going up 3-2 today.
Oh, I think we're going up 3-2 today.
Yeah. If he's shooting wild shots, though, like book it, like 3-2 is guaranteed.
Celtics are 4-0 first half in the series. Is it 5 tonight?
I'm telling you, first half full game.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Richie Smalls reminding everybody, if you're hanging out enjoying this, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you check out runpurebets.com. Eric Chang just joined us. Wow. You want to come on the show and tell us about it, Eric? He got into a fight with 3 dudes at the bar last night for being an asshole to a lady at the bar. He's rocking a black eye today. Eric, let us know if you want to come on and tell your side of the story. I like to hear it. Defending the young woman's honor. We're proud of you,
I like
Eric.
his call on the Looney points plus rebounds at 14.5.
Yeah, I mean, I already explained to you why I like Looney. I think he's going to get 28 minutes or more tonight. I think he's been so good. I think to me, he's like the difference in these last 2 series.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they have the ability to run him out there, and with Robert Williams hurt, I think he's been that much more effective. And you know what sucks? Tyler, back to the better team argument. I was thinking Robert Williams is healthy. I don't know if we're here right now. Like if he was 100% like he was during that run.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it because, right, I've been Team Warriors this whole time, right? Hashtag NorCal.
Well, let me ask you something because I had a fun conversation with this.
Yeah.
Game 7 in Milwaukee goes a little bit different, and Middleton's playing.
Yeah.
And it's Milwaukee in this series. What's this look like? Because I think Milwaukee stomps a mud hole in this team.
Yeah, because,
there ain't an answer for Giannis.
Yeah. I mean, him and Draymond might actually get into a physical fight.
And he would just put Draymond in the dirt before Draymond even got to fight him.
That would be kind of
He'd dunk on him so many times, just push him over. He'd give him the old Shaq meme where he pushed over that guy for the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Put that on your podcast, Draymond.
Going back to me talking about why Steph, no one copies Steph running around screens. I don't think most teams in the NBA don't have a guy like Steph who runs around screens and makes it work. It's not that hard. What I'm asking isn't that hard.
A lot of guys don't have the energy. Yeah. A lot of guys don't have the energy to run all the way around. And yeah, but it's just a different kind of stamina to be able to run around for 20 seconds.
You're
running around screens, you're running left to right, and now you got to catch and shoot on the run. Like
it's not like I'm out on the park asking a bunch of guys that are plumbers and UPS.
And the other thing is he has a very, very quick release for a jump shot. Like not many guys shoot the ball that fast. So some of these shots he gets off that he's wide open on, a lot of these other guys would be shooting them like a half a second later, a quarter of a second later, where the guy's going to get there. Like a Damian Lillard gets those off, but a Bradley Beal who's more like I wouldn't say like a slow motion shooter, but like you see the full motion of his shot when he shoots. It's not like a quick one. That defender's going to get there when he shoots that shot. So that's the only thing I worry about. Like that's the only thing, not worry, but that's the only thing I say about that comment.
Our favorite old guy that we like, JR Richard Goodman or whatever his name is, J. Richard Goodman. You know what I'm talking about, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
So he jumped into Spaces yesterday, right? And this is it's a Warrior Spaces, right? I mean, like all Warriors fans listening, right? But he told an interesting story because I guess he did a lot of AAU. Not only did he play, like his son played, and he said that he remembers when Del Curry switched Steph's shot when he was about 14 or 15 because he was bringing it up too low, and he knew it wasn't going to work. And he said that around, in his high school years, he actually switched to have that quick release, right? So, that's one of the things where, having a dad who played in the NBA helps a lot, right? Because he realized like my son's too small to get away with, like,
he realized it way beforehand. Yeah. And was able to get it fixed before it was just too far gone.
Right. And that's just stuff that I don't see. Like, I mean, there's a difference between running numbers and running trends and narratives and reacting to market moves and then actually just knowing basketball. So I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. So Eric Chang's on Looney over 14.5 points and rebounds. Curry, first quarter under 8.5. Also expecting Boston to try to get the ball out of his hands early. And so let me say this, Eric. If they do that, and I'm not saying this isn't possible, but they'd be lying on all their press conferences because Udoka said they're not going to switch to it. Do you believe that, Tyler? I kind of do.
I don't think they're going to switch to it.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head they should double him, yeah. but that's not what he wants to do.
I think they are playing the best route of defense they can to beat them. And at the end of the day, if he beats you in 7 games because he put up 30 plus in 4 games that they won, you throw your hands up and you shake his hand at the end of the day and you say you're a better player. That's all you can. You did your job on the other 4 guys.
Yeah.
One guy beat you. It happens every once in a while.
I think they should be better than LeBron James and shake their opponent's hands if they lost.
Yeah.
Got to throw a shade there. Actually, my guy Isaiah Thomas didn't do that either. He didn't rebound great in Game 3, but much better in Game 4. He only played 15 minutes in Game 3. If he would have had 28 like I expect tonight, he would have. So I thought he rebounded okay. He just barely had. Reggie Miller did do that whole career. All right. We the people. Best bet is pool 15 plus and the Warriors win. All right. Thank you, we the people, for giving out that early. All right, Tyler, what else do we have to go for today? Anything else we want to give people before we get out of here?
That's pretty much it for me.
This has been pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
These finals have been fun. I mean, like, I get a little worried beforehand because, like, you know, for the regular season shows or during the first rounds of the playoffs, it was like I would do prep and stuff. It just feels like we've talked about everything, but yet we find a way to make it interesting and, more importantly, give out the winning picks. I mean, as frustrated as I've been, like, doing content and just having the same argument every day, we've been doing really good, especially coming together and then, you know, helping each other on, you know, some best bets, and you keeping me off when I get too emotional, and, you know, me throwing in my 2 cents as well. So with that being said, let's give them what they want. Your best bets brought to you by runpuresports.com. Promo code GETBETS to become a member. What do you got, Tyler?
Give me Boston at halftime, Golden State full time plus 480. And then I'll take a shot at that the Looney prop Eric Chain gave out, the points plus rebounds. I like that one.
All right. I'll just give you guys everything I'm on. I like Tatum over, Looney over, Poole over 1.5 threes, but I like the most Warriors -4. Go ahead and play the alt line as well, and I like the under in this game. That is where I'm at. Tyler, are we doing a review show tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm down if you want to.
All right, we'll do a review show tomorrow. We will catch you guys then. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Jonathan Nelson says a big game from Clay tonight. Of course, he's going to think that as Clay's father, Los Angeles Lakers legend, Michael Thompson. Love to see the California love, Jonathan Nelson. With that being said, we'll be back tomorrow. Run Pure.